So the NBA draft is tonight. And you know what that means. Who's going to be the number one pick? Who is going to go where? And well, I think the number one pick is an old outer. It's going to be AJ DiBatsa. Or at least it should be. Because I don't understand if the Wizards go Darren Peterson when they literally just signed back Trae Young to a 4-year, $212 million deal just to sign another guard at just to draft a guard at number one overall. So that wouldn't make really any sense. So I really just think they're going to go AJ DiBatsa. You know, AD didn't even play as a Wizard, so him getting shipped off is going to be fucking hilarious. And also, the Trailblazers hired their new coach, the assistant coach for the Timberwolves, and you know what he's on? He's on a 1-year deal with two options as his contract. I guess they're 2 years. I guess they're 2-year options, but like, holy shit, what a cheapskate organization. But then the second pick, it's been rumored that people are saying like the Jazz might trade this pick. I'm not so sure about that. I would honestly be very surprised if that were to happen. Because I heard saw a mock that got the Bulls traded up for number 2 to give Darren Peterson. But now the Bulls just got Nick Claxton. So I think they're going to stay at where they are, and I think they're going to stick with their guns, and I think they're going to go with Caleb Wilson or Cam Boozer, one of those two. Whoever is not picked at 3, they are going to be a Bull, and I think the Bull in question is going to be Caleb Wilson. I don't know why I just had a brain fart and forget his name, and then that means the Grizzlies get Cam Boozer, which I think Cam Boozer is a great player. Very underrated player. People aren't giving him as much love as he should get. Like, he's a very good prospect. He's a very interesting prospect. And here's another thing. If the Wizards were to pick Darren Peterson, it would not just screw up the Wizards draft. It would also screw up the Jazz draft. Because what do you do now? I would assume that if the Wizards take Darren Peterson, then the Jazz will 100% look to trade the hell out, because they don't need a forward. All right, they got Lauri Markkanen. They trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. They need a guard. So they're gonna trade back. You know, I'd say the Bulls. Hell, maybe even the Clippers. I don't know which team would trade up. Maybe the Bucks. Nah, they're looking for a guard. But still, it'll be highly intensifying if the Wizards take Darren Peterson, because then the clock is going to be up on the Jazz. They don't need AJ DiBatsa. They got Lauri Markkanen, and they just traded for Jaren Jackson Jr. They got to figure out what they got to do in that short time, but they're probably going to just trade out. And some teams will be calling if that made so. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Wizards are just going to pick AJ DiBatsa. And I think 4-2. Now it's going to be very interesting to see where Darius Acuff goes, where Keaton Wagler goes. Where does Ade Mara fall in this draft? The top center. For a loaded draft class, this is a very weak center position, I must say. But I've heard some, like a St. John's center that the Cavs are interested in. I would have no problem bringing in a big, though our point guard situation is fucked. But it's going to be so fucked. But no, it's going to be that time. And, you know, I'm excited for it. I'll watch that. It's going to fall and reside on the halftime of the Panama-Croatia game. So I'll be watching, like, a bit of it. First 4 picks I should get through, and then I'm going to just have it on my tablet for the background while I'm watching the rest of the Panama-Croatia game. And possibly the DR Congo-Colombia game when that starts up. I'll put it back on my tablet and whatnot. So we're gonna be basically, that's basically my plan, and I expect AJ DeBouncer to be a Wizard. I expect Darren Peterson to be part of the Jazz unless they trade out, and I expect Cam Boozer to be a Memphis Grizzly, and I expect Caleb Wilson to be a Chicago Bull, and I must recommend that you go to Players Tribune and read that Kingston Fleming story. It's a lot like the Keisei Concepcion one, if you have read that one. Pretty remarkable story, I must say. And, you know, we're going to see where he lands. We're going to see where Keaton Wagler lands. We're going to see where Darius Akov lands. We're going to see where Yaxel lands after Dusty May became the new head coach of the Mavs. And the Mavs, I believe, had the 9th pick in the draft. Are the Mavs going to take him at 9th? There's also rumors about him dropping to the 13 to 18 lane. So one or the other, we're going to figure it out. We're going to find out who gets where and who gets drafted into the NBA draft. We know who's going to get drafted, but where, that is the question. And I believe the top 4 picks should be an easy lock. But you never know. And yeah, we're going to see what happens. And a lot of these owners probably going to be capping. And Jimmy Haslam was wanting of the idea to go with the Heat offer, then the Celtics offer. Oh, now you want to make smart decisions, huh, Jimmy? Now you want to make smart decisions? What a fucking joke.